Hi, this is Derek Murphy from creativity.com. I'm going to show you a few ways to make those 3D book cover mockups. You see, they're sometimes useful for book marketing and such. I'm going to show my screen so that you can see what I'm doing. Some of these I'm going to design in Photoshop, and then I'll also show you a few free online tools where you can get these kind of 3D book covers made. Okay, so hold on just a second. So this is my screen. I know it looks pretty weird right now. That's because you can see my screen going into the background. But here's the internet. Here's my Photoshop. I'll make this a little bigger so you can see it. In Photoshop, what usually happens is you'll use an action, a Photoshop action. So I'm just going to flatten this layer and copy it. And I'm going to go to my actions. And I have a whole bunch of these 3D book actions. So this is paperback one. I actually got a lot of these from Cover Action Pro, which is a really good system. So then I would just put my book cover here. And on some of these, you also need to add a spine. On some you don't. For right now, I'm just going to copy this layer and put it over here to cover that space. I usually would rotate the title and the text and fit it all in, but I'm just doing this quickly. So then once you've set up your template the right way, you can just hit render and play. And then Photoshop will already go through this scripted program of kind of sequential actions. It's basically what somebody did to make a 3D cover, but they just recorded all those actions. So now Photoshop is just working on its own. I'm not doing anything. And it takes a few minutes, and then it'll finish a pretty nice 3D cover. And you'll see that in just a minute. And the other way I would do this in Photoshop, instead of going to action, is just going to a template. So I could go to, I have a bunch of these 3D book templates. The one I like the most is probably this one. So you see this 3D cover that Photoshop just made. This is a pre-made action, so I can't rotate this or change this angle or anything. This is another one that's kind of nice because you don't need the spine. So in here I have a placeholder. Let me grab this layer again. So I could just paste my cover there and resize it. And when I save that, it's going to show up on my 3D template. There. And then I'll just do the same thing with the book file. And I could change this background and make something that really fits the book. And those are really nice mockups for promoting. So you could do that in Photoshop. If you want to get some of these, you could either go to Cover Action Pro and buy a whole set, and they're pretty nice. But you can also just go to Graphic River for 3D templates, and you'll get some actions or some kind of things like this. Some of them are pretty basic, but some of them are really nice. So if you don't have Photoshop, what do you do? Easiest way to do it, if you don't have Photoshop, is go to Fiverr.com and just pay somebody else to do it for you, because Fiverr is cheap. So for $5 or $10, there's a lot of people who have Photoshop who will just take your file and make a 3D cover for you. And you can see there's a lot of results. So it would probably cost you $5 or $5.50 because that's how they price now. You could even get a ebook cover on Fiverr. Some of them are okay, some of them not so much. So another way to do it, my book cover site, I added a tool a while back under more cool stuff and free 3D book generator. I'm just going to grab, this isn't my book, I'm just grabbing it because it's available. It says to upload the cover, backside, and spine, but I'm just going to upload the same file for all three, which means my spine isn't going to be so great. But I just click create 3D book and it's going to make one for me. The nice thing about the tool on my website is that I can rotate it like this, which is pretty awesome. The thing that sucks about it is that it has this really, it looks like a really old, faded, kind of mildewy book with the green edges, and I can't change that, which kind of sucks. But if you just take a front like this, that's a pretty nice cover. It's got a reflection. You can save this as a PNG or a JPEG or a GIF. When you save it, because the guy had this kind of took it from somewhere else, I think, you get this 3D package logo, which is too bad. Once you've done this, you just right click and save image as. But then when you're using it for promotion or something, you can just crop out that logo or paint over it and then you'll be fine. There's a few other ways to make 3D covers. I'm trying to make something on DIYbookcovers.com on my free image maker, on my cover maker tool. I don't have anything yet. The problem is with this tool, you can't add perspective. You can't change the picture dimensions to make it look like it's angled away. So I may not be able to add it in this tool, but you could use my free tool here and then add it into the other tool. So those are some ways. I'm going to see if I can switch back to the video so you can see me again for just a second. If I remember where it was that I was talking. There it is. So that's my tool again. And now I'll go back to here. And there I am again. So thanks. I'm just kind of testing this out to make sure I can switch back and forth between the video and the screen share. So good luck with your 3D covers and bye-bye.